All right, you guys, this video is, I know y'all probably get tired of hearing about it. Dave Chappelle. Um, but this is a female comedian. I think she got autism. Her name is Hannah Gadsby. It says, here's the headlines. Hannah Gadsby trashes Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos for citing her in Dave Chappelle's defense. So here's how it goes. It says, Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos continues to defend outspoken comedian Dave Chappelle's controversial comedy special, which came under fire for comments the comedian made about transgender people, and one of the people he cited in his most recent defense doesn't want her name anywhere near any of it. Hannah Gadsby gained international acclaim with her stand-up comedy confessional Nanette, which spoke candidly and at times painfully about her experiences as a gay woman. It was an incredibly powerful piece that pushed the boundaries of what comedy can be, earning Gatsby both an Emmy and a Peabody Award in 2019. The streamer has rightfully been very proud of Gatsby's contribution to their comedy lineup, but the Australian comedian drew a very clear line in the sand with an incendiary Instagram post published overnight Thursday. Okay, so let's read this. Uh, it says here, just a quick note. This is from what's her name again? Hannah Gatsby. Just a quick note to let you know that I would prefer if you didn't drag my name into your mess. She wrote on the post. Now I have to deal with even more of the hate and anger that Dave Chappelle's fans like to unleash on me every time Dave gets $20 million to process his emotional stunt partial worldview. She went on to brutally lay into Sarandos, adding, you didn't pay me nearly enough to deal with the real world consequences of the hate speech dog whistling you refuse to acknowledge, Ted. F you and your amoral algorithm I mean. Then it says here is that last is a reference. Okay, so it says here that last is a reference to Netflix well publicized focus on mathematical and strategical algorithms and analysis of viewship data that they use, at least in part, to make decisions about which shows to pick up, renew, and cancel. She said, I do ish with more backbone than you. She continued with a final jab. That's just a joke. I definitely didn't cross a line because you just told the world there isn't one. Whew. Okay, so she's upset. I think she's upset really about probably her pay, but whatever. Let me see something. It said, despite a public outcry over Chappelle's disclosure, Sarando said in a memo to staff as noted by the Hollywood Reporter that it would not be removed from the platform because it doesn't directly translate to the real world harm. I agree. And he then said that Chappelle's voice is just one voice among many. We are working hard to ensure marginalized communities aren't defined by a single story, he wrote in his memo. So we have SEX Education, Orange is the New Black, Control Z, Hannah Gadsby, and Dave Chappelle all on Netflix. Key to this is increasing diversity on the content team itself. Further reports that transgender staffers at Netflix are planning a virtual walkout. Oh Lord, as many work from home on Wednesday. Blah blah blah. Okay, whatever. Okay, it says down here though, the comedian has talking about Dave Chappelle has had his supporters too, with Damon Wayans telling TMZ that Chappelle in effect freed the slaves by opening the door for other comedians who might be afraid to tackle many subjects in the current cancel culture climate. And I agree because comedy is not going to a certain type of comedy will not exist if certain people have their way. And I'm gonna just say this, some people always say like the gay community. Hannah Gatsby, yes, she is a lesbian. However, most people from the gay community do not care. It's just that the media puts a light on this one and make a big fuss about it and trying to make it seem like she has so much support from the gay community. I promise you, down my timeline, in my circle, in my space, most of us do not care. We look at it as a joke. If we tune into Dave Chappelle, for the most part, we know what we're tuning in. And I said this before that I only had one issue on it, but I'm not even going to talk about that on here because it doesn't really matter. Overall, it's one thing to criticize one thing and say, well, I didn't too much care for this, or I felt like this, whatever. But to make such a big fuss about it, with trying to take it off of Netflix, walking out and doing this. And I know they say you can't tell certain groups how to feel. And yeah, I guess I can't tell you how to feel, but in the same time, it's like it's a joke. It is a joke unless you have a personal experience with him where he really says something to you that would make you believe, oh, he hates gays or whatever. It's a joke. It's a joke. I like, you know what I mean? Like, I get sometimes people get in their feelings and whatnot, and you're sensitive. But if you're going to be sensitive about something, just don't watch it. Just don't watch it. But yeah, she took that jab at Dave Chappelle and his fans, and I don't really know. I don't believe that anyone's going after her. If someone's going after her, it's probably now that they're really going in after her. But I just think she's just being extra for two reasons. One, she didn't like her pay. You're not Dave Chappelle. You're not going to get paid what he get paid. So you can bring him up all you want and $20 million this and snarl and all of that, but you're not going to get Dave Chappelle money. Okay, so you can do the whole. I don't know what's the next step. She gonna do the whole woman thing. It's not about being a woman. It's not about being. You're not gonna get paid what he get, and I do feel like this had. She did that little, you know, jab at them because she's upset about not getting paid as he get paid. So this black man is definitely making buku money, and this crazy girl, comedian she calls herself. I try to look at some of her jokes. I don't think she's really funny. She seems like to come off more as a storyteller, and a few jokes here and there. I don't really care for her type of comedian. I would never tune into her type of stuff again. I just did it for research purpose. However, I will always check for Dave Chappelle. If and this is coming from a gay man. As a gay man, I do not care about him making jokes. Just like I don't care if Joan Rivers make jokes. I feel like Joan Rivers has she got from certain community or whatever, or certain people says, "Oh, I've been RAPE. I don't think you should make those type of jokes." Blah blah blah. But guess what? The people in the mainstream media had her back, so she didn't felt the real effects of it. She didn't. So Joan Rivers can make all these type of jokes that she'd make along her career. And if you know anything about Joan, then you know. And if you don't know and you want to do some research, do some research. But she's said all kinds of things. So it's okay for Joan Rivers, but you know what I mean? It's just like, and the gay community can open her was open arms. We love Joan Rivers. So it's okay for her to do it, but if it's a black man, it's being super duper drawn out. So that's why I got to the point where even though I had one criticism of it, I stopped even doing that one criticism because I felt like they were drawing it out too much and they was doing too much. Maybe because a lot of people are just that this black man is getting $20 million. A pop, and he's extremely successful. So my one little complaint that I had, one little criticism, I said I'm not even gonna discuss that no more because it's deeper than that. Y'all doing too much. So I'm not even gonna give y'all that anymore. But like I said, the gay community as a whole, we don't care. We honestly don't care. Okay? It's a very small percentage that gives a rat's behind. So I'm gonna just end this with this saying understand what kind of jokes that you like and understand and I'll respect you more if you say listen that's his type of jokes have an intellectual have an intellectual honest conversation. Don't sit up here and act like people are attacking you in life because Dave Chappelle is making a joke. That is not true. If someone is going to really truly attack you and cause you harm, they're going to do it because it's in them. That's just who they are and they have to be responsible for their actions. Okay. So that's just how I see it. And if you think that his type of comedy, because some people don't like dark humor or wicked sense of humor. Some people like more on the safer side where, you're not really talking about anyone specifically or whatever. And if you that type of person, go seek out that type of jokes. But understand that there's a lot of people in this world that Dave Chappelle can cater to. And I think you just want to be a control freak and just get people canceled if you saying that in real life you're getting so attacked just because Dave Chappelle did this. If people are attacking you or coming for you in real life or smacking you upside the head because you're a lesbian, it is not because of Dave Chappelle. I don't believe that. I don't care what nobody says. So miss me with the BS, and I'm done with this. Comment in the comment section and tell me what you guys think of this foolishness.